Let me tell you a story. A story about an evil company, one that tried to force their ideology into video games, and in doing so, destroyed some great IPs. This plague on the video game industry is none other than Sweet Baby Inc. And after some recent meltdowns by their employees, gamers have finally had enough of their bullcrap. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the company that tried to destroy gaming and more. Sweet Baby Inc. is a company that all gamers should know the name of. If you've been around the Twitter sphere over the past week, you have probably heard of them, because they've found themselves in a pot of boiling water. But before we dive into the good stuff, I'm just going to explain who Sweet Baby Inc. is for those who may not know. Sweet Baby Inc. isn't a development studio, so if you haven't heard of them, that is alright, there is nothing to be ashamed about. Instead, they are a consultation firm that works with some of the biggest companies in gaming. And what exactly are they consulting on? Well, that's how to make games more woke. On their website, their mission statement is, founded in 2018, Sweet Baby Inc. is a narrative development and consultation studio based in Montreal and working around the globe. Our mission is to tell better, more empathetic stories while diversifying and enriching the video games industry. We aim to make games more engaging, more fun, more meaningful, and more inclusive for everyone. A lot of the games they have worked on turned out to be just a little bit crap because of this ideology the company tried to force onto gamers. Some of these games are games like Alan Wake 2, Spider-Man 2, God of War Ragnarok, and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Sweet Baby Inc. already had a portion of gamers that just didn't like them, including myself. And there would have been more if the company wasn't operating behind a shield of anonymity of sorts. But a recent move by one of their employees has completely destroyed this shield, and the majority of gamers are finally seeing the company for what they truly are, and that is complete and utter gutter trash. There's a curator page over on Steam that lets people know which games Sweet Baby Inc. has worked on. A lot of these games I had my theories about, but I wasn't exactly sure if SBI worked on them, so I decided to keep my mouth shut. Games like Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Gotham Knights. A Sweet Baby Inc. employee by the name of Kindred, going by It's Kindred over on X, was not happy about this group. And it is obvious why. It's because some of the games on the list are games that people had no clue Sweet Baby Inc. worked on, so this group has taken away their anonymity. With this anonymity gone, Kindred had a meltdown and decided to go on X and attempted to make a targeted harassment campaign against the creator of Sweet Baby Inc. detected, even claiming that it was them that was harassing people and calling on Steam to delete this account and for people to report it. But despite what Kindred thinks, gamers are smarter than the average 2-year-old, and this plan backfired gloriously. The post got ratioed to hell, and like the coward this piece of crap is, they decided to delete the tweet once they realized it failed. Kindred isn't alone, because another Sweet Baby Inc. employee decided to pick up the torch and lecture everyone about why they are wrong about SBI. In this X thread, they talk about how no one is forcing developers to change their story because of DEI, and that it isn't really destroying the video game industry, all the while claiming that everything is just misinformation, but never actually telling us why this misinformation is wrong. And of course, they bring in the good old racist card, saying that, sorry, one thing has changed. The number of people who understand that spreading misinformation just lets them be racist in public with no information. So clearly, us people who think that DEI is destroying the video game industry are just a bunch of racists. It's the same old shtick you hear all the time when WOKIES are trying to get people to shut the hell up. But I want you to remember that part of this thread for just a few moments, because we are going to be talking about it more. In the next part of this thread, they talk about Sweet Baby Inc. Detected, claiming that there are no rules for these curation groups and implying that any game is just being listed on this group, which is not the truth. As we can see by community notes, the games on this group are games that were listed on the Sweet Baby Inc. website, or games that they were credited in. The funny thing about Lagerbutts, aka Felix at home, calling people racists, is that he isn't an individual that is afraid to use slurs. In a tweet by IndieNeon, we can see some of Felix's past posts that say things like, "abort all Jews," N-word is a term just like white girl, so-and-so are a British cigarette. So Lagerbutts is calling people racists, yet is using the N-word and saying that all Jews should be aborted. This mentality that Lagerbutts has is actually very common in people who are woke. They will claim that they are against things like racism, homophobia, but have no problems throwing around terms like egg when they don't agree with someone else's opinion. The reason why these employees are melting down is because they know that their time is done. If you've watched some of my other videos, you might have heard me say that the only way wokeness can survive is by infesting already existing franchises. It's why games like the Saints Row reboot, Spider-Man 2, and Alan Wake 2 was riddled with it. People like SBI knows that gamers would simply buy a game because of its name. It is the reason why we never see a brand new IP being described as woke, because no one would buy that game. Instead, we see code words like modern audience being used to describe them. If people know a game is going to be woke, they are not going to buy that game. And SBI knows this. It is why they are so angry about their dirty laundry being aired out. They like to think that the majority of gamers are just a bunch of dumb asses, but that is far from the truth. When we play a game, we do so to relax, not to be hammered with ideology that I will say is frankly wrong and is one of the biggest problems that the West is currently facing in its entertainment industry. At this point in the stage, gamers are just sick and tired of this woke bullcrap. It is why games like Stellar Blade are being so hyped up, and why games like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is being dragged down. Gamers just want to get back to a time where they can enjoy their game and not have to listen to a self-insert character talking about why white people are the devil and how gay people are so prosecuted and ostracized from the community. Sweet Baby Inc. is a cancer on the video game industry, and by extension, so are all of its employees. When the Saints Row reboot came out and Volition announced it was shutting the studio's doors, I said that not all of the developers there should be out of work. After all, there were probably some people there that didn't agree with the direction the game was going in, but was just powerless to do anything. But I cannot say the same thing about Sweet Baby Inc. Sweet Baby Inc. is a company that literally states they are woke. Their main goal is to wokeify games. Any employee who has worked for this company should never, and I mean never, work in the video game industry again. This company has damaged the video game industry as much as Anita Sarkeesian did, and they could actually be ushering in another GamerGate, which maybe is exactly what we need. Like the good old days, gamers need to stand up and shout that this is not fucking okay, especially when we might be seeing $150 games in the future. Games are made for us gamers, not for the developers. It is something that companies like Sweet Baby Inc. can't get through their fucking skulls. The majority of people, especially gamers, do not like wokeism and see it as the cancer it is. Those of us who stand against it are often hammered by insults from the most welcoming and inclusive community on the earth. You would not believe the amount of times I got called a racist underneath my Saints Row Reboot videos when I never even mentioned anything about race in those videos. But of course, it is clear that good old GamerGate here is secretly a racist. That's why every weekend in the summer, I do what most country boys do, and that's fish. With my uncle, who happens to be black. That's just how much of a racist I am. Companies like Sweet Baby Inc. are condoning this type of behavior. They are condoning these attacks. They are proudly displaying that their employees do this exact same thing. If you do not have the same opinion as them, you're racist, a homophobe, and apparently a fat and they like to think that racism and homophobia is rampant in society, but that isn't the case. They are doing more to promote racism and homophobia as a natural way of thinking than actually combating it. One thing I do hope that comes out of this outrage is that studios stop working with this company. If this company wasn't woke, studios would have stopped working with them a long time ago. But because they are, people like to put their blinders on and pretend that they didn't see a goddamn thing. But gamers are not so easily fooled. What we need to do is quite simple. It's to let studios know that behavior like we see from Sweet Baby Inc. will not be tolerated. Am I calling for a boycott of their games? No, I'm not. Boycotts are stupid, and people should be able to spend their money as they see fit without feeling guilty about it. What I am saying though is that we need to be vocal about this. The only way we will win is if we keep on talking about it. This cannot be a conversation like many others that just fades away in a week's time. Because if it is, then Sweet Baby Inc. would have won. We need to make Sweet Baby Inc. the example and show gaming studios what happens to companies that fall victim to the woke mind virus. When the news comes out that SBI closes their doors down for good, I'm going to sit back and have a beer. We're laughing my ass off. Because Sweet Baby Inc. is so goddamn stupid. They decided to ignore the saying "get woke, go broke" and built their entire business model on being woke. But what do you think about all of this? Do you think that Sweet Baby Inc. is about to usher in a new age of GamerGate? Do you think studios will stop working with them? Let me know down below and make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell. I hope all of you have an amazing and wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.